Hello. Happy Friday.
Hope everyone had a good week. Mine's is busy, too quick. It went really fast. I don't know. Like, I just was in bed last week, and watching the Giant game. And after they won, I took a nap. And then, like, next thing I know, it's Friday. I'm like, what the fuck? So it's crazy. But they mathematically still have a shot.
Yeah, mathematically, and the teams that the other teams are facing are suspects. So
Well, it's the NFC East, so yeah.
Yeah, it's very suspect.
I mean, no one wants to win that division. They could go in at 8-8,
Yeah, and you know how what Eli does in the playoffs. So.
Oh yeah, he got to get that swollen head again. He be alright, Last couple of games been decent, so
yeah,
out to them.
And his numbers look real decent. 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Yeah, but he's getting up there in age, so I think they need to draft a quarterback this year. Hopefully next year. Hopefully.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That Saquon Barkley is getting stronger down the line.
Yeah, he's gonna be stronger. Kind of reminds me of Walter Payton a little bit.
Yeah, he's getting stronger.
Yeah,
stronger as they further.
They got a good team. They just have to stay healthy. That's the issue. I don't know, Beckham's the man, but Beckham stay hurt. Put a little weight on him. I think he'd be all right.
Yeah,
but won't be able to make those ridiculous catches like he do. Cause I play Madden, and he does the same thing like in the game. Yeah. Like you throw the ball to him, and he can just catch it in the air with one hand and shit. It's like crazy. But yeah. So how was your week, bro?
It's been pretty slow. I'm just waiting for this month to over so my mother can give me the gift I always wanted, which is a job. So
awesome. Let's talk about that. What kind of jobs?
Yeah, I'm gonna be working Freedom Care, where I'm gonna be a personal home health aide with my mom. Starting pay is $18 an hour. It's gonna be $30.
Sweet.
No, $18 an hour. It's gonna be 30 hours. So it's gonna be a solid gig. I need the money because it's really hard for me to find a job out here.
Yeah, I mean, the economy is very stagnant. I personally wouldn't know because I'm on a fixed income, not like it matters. But, it is money. But the thing is that I know a lot of people personally that, are in between jobs or have no jobs. So it is rough out there. So definitely get whatever resources you can from friends, I mean, even if you got to do what you got to do, flip burgers or something. I mean, the job's a job at that point, but even McDonald's is getting ridiculous, and they want degrees and shit for fucking flipping burgers or something. I read a while ago.
Yeah,
but
they do.
Yeah, so you wanted to talk about the Oscars and the that whole Kevin Hart thing? Want to start off with that?
Yeah, let's start off with that. Yeah, first off, being a black man in America is tough because it's always going to be a glass ceiling, it seems. Like, this guy did everything that they want a black comedian to do. He even wore the dress. He did everything. And the minute he gets to the Oscars, they want to railroad him for something that he's already apologized for. And they was like, no, we just want you to go through it. No, you wanted to make him dance. And then when Nick Cannon called out the other white comedians that uses that slurs and don't get in trouble, then they bring out Jerry Seinfeld to basically cover those white people's asses. Okay, now here's the thing about Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld is always consistent. He always is about the art of comedy. That's the thing about him. That's why he gets respect in the business. Even some of us don't think he's funny. That's the reason why he gets the respect. So he defend Michael Richards. He defend Bill Cosby. He showed love to Bill Cosby, even though he showed love to Louis C.K. He showed love to Roseanne. So he defends the art form of comedy. But I remember when he did a joke about the gay French king joke, and he got railroaded too. So why would they bring Jerry Seinfeld out now? Is to basically cover all the other white comedians' asses. That's why.
I don't know. I just think the Oscars were never for us anyway, and we should have nothing to do with it, period, because all those award shows are such bullshit, and they are just it's just like a gold star that you get on the board when you were in kindergarten. It made you feel nice. It was okay for the time being because you were young and you didn't know better. But as you get older, you start to realize that a lot of that award stuff and all that idol worship and all that other crap
It's
is really
idol worship.
it's really not for us. I don't think personally, because the Oscars has a history of being against African Americans. Hattie McDowell, she was nominated for an award many years ago, and she had to sit in the back.
She had to sit in the back, right? Nick Cannon brought that up.
And
the speech that she gave, I'm a credit to my race. Really? Playing a maid role? You was a credit to your race? She won the Academy Award for Gone with the Wind, being...
yeah, and that's another thing, the roles that they pick for these great, black actors, and you have to be a road cop like Denzel was Training Day. He won an Academy Award for, but no, he should have won for Malcolm X, I believe, because that was a dead ringer portrayal in that movie. But they rather see us in a negative light, and that's the reason personally that I don't watch stuff like that, and it's like 4 hours of crap. And like, if I want to seriously sit down and do that, like, I'll watch Monday Night Raw. At least I'll be somewhat interested in the product, and I know what's going on. I'd rather watch 3 hours of that crap than some 4 hour bullshit 4 hour award show.
I used to watch it in the 90s because the movies that was nominated for the awards was actually very good. But the problem is that the movies that's coming out now is garbage, and the funny because it's bland. And I believe that the reason why Hollywood is doing these comic book movies and they're promoting them, because I believe that Hollywood does not know how to create movies with diversity, so they rely on comic book movies to do it for them.
Right, and they also, I think, ran out of a lot of ideas. I mean, if it's not a remake or a remake of a remake or something out of a book that they dug up their ass like 60 years ago, there's nothing really original out. And that's why a lot of people, refuse to go to the movies, and not to mention that it's expensive as hell, too. So, if you're going to spend some money, some good money, you want to actually see it worth it. But Hollywood knows what it's doing, because that's what sells right now. It's basically comic book movies, franchises, and that's how it's always been, pretty much, late 90s, early 2000s. So, because, a lot of documentaries or these really like dramas or these biopics don't necessarily come out until like, after Thanksgiving for that, Oscar shit. Because they want to be nominated and they want to win awards. So I just... Like I said, it's not for me. I mean, I'm over it, and everybody says dumb shit, and then, very few of us, admit to it. And he did, and me personally, he could do better. I mean, he has been doing better, and I think that's the funniest shit that happened that he's done personally to me in years. I mean, it's been the same material for him, but realistically,
he had to switch his. You see.
What else is there?
The thing about Kevin Hart, he used to hang out with Patrice O'Neal and Keith Robinson and Bill Burr and all those other guys from the Comedy Cellar. And they all edgy comedians. And at that time, he used to take comedic risks. But the reason why Kevin Hart boosted is because he switched up his act and he actually became more cleaner. And when he became more cleaner, that's when boosted him into stardom. This is why this pisses me off, because he's probably one of the most non-threatening freaking comedians in the game.
They look for scapegoats, and like I said, a lot of people don't admit when they're wrong. And the problem is that they tend to do this to hide their own insecurities about themselves, about how they are in the business, because there's a lot of people who have undocumented issues with themselves and the comedy business. And so
Tell me about it.
yeah, I just did. But the thing is that with Kevin Hart, you know, if you want to change your style, that's fine. Whatever makes you money, that's fine. You know, but personally, you know, that's really not for me. I can do it, and I am interested in, you know, for starting like next year, I'll start getting back into things. But for him, I believe that, you know, you just, you know, you take the L. You don't really have to, but just, you know, sit down, cool out for a bit, and then come back stronger. Because, you know, like I said, they all have these, like, you know, little knocks and stuff like that, and they always trying to, you know, find reasons to be mad at somebody for nothing. And like I said, people tweet the craziest things, and we all know who number one is.
The president.
So, like, and personally, like, you know, you I mean, he's always in the news, he's always getting at him, but, you know, his stuff is celebrated mostly by his, you know, supporters.
Yeah, and
I should say entirely by his supporters.
And I think we as stand-up comedians all across the board, whether you agree with the president or not, we have to ask, why is it that the stand-up comedian has to be held to the higher regard than the man that's in the Oval Office?
I don't understand that either, because all presidents have been made fun of since the dawn of time. So why is he special? Why is he important?
Yeah, because he's a bully.
I mean,
he's a bully.
Well, he's a bully, but he's one of those that I'm pretty sure if someone stepped to him, he wouldn't know what to do with himself. And you know, these are the type of people, these rich people who have all these resources and all these things out there for them. They don't have to do things. They don't have to be as hands-on with certain things, stuff like that. But, you know, he just looks like a real, like, you know, jelly donut, sloppy eating motherfucker. And I don't think I mean, you remember that shit, that WrestleMania? I think it was like years ago when it was a Battle of Billionaires. Mm-hmm. It was Umaga and Lashley, and the loser lost his hair. I think it was McMahon that lost his hair. Right? But they did a spot, and it was like he was supposed to like jump on McMahon or something, pretend like he was punching him, and he's couldn't sell for shit. Like, it was really bad. Like, I look back at it and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, but the funny thing was that Stone Cold did hit the stunner on him, but it was like the ugliest like looking thing like I've ever did see. But, you know, Austin was like, you know, you don't get to stun billionaires every day, so I just took what I could get. You know. But
you don't get to stun a billionaire, yeah, so I'm gonna stun him.
You know, that was my thing back in the day. Like, the Attitude Era and all that other stuff, you know, he's the only dude that could put hands on his boss and be all right. You know, it was scripted and all that stuff, but, you know, the idea of that was very entertaining.
Yeah, that's why the Austin versus McMahon thing is so great, man.
I still have that DVD.
Oh, man.
I think I ran it into the earth. I don't think it plays anymore.
Yeah.
I'm about to get another copy of that.
Yeah, there's people on the internet that's literally saying after the incident that comedy is dead.
Comedy I wouldn't say it's dead. I think it's a little bit. I think it's on life support, and it's in the what's the place that people go to die and sit there and just,
the hospice.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, it's not fun anymore. You know, I used to enjoy, even with the bullshit with the club stuff. It was just to see friends and hang out and just enjoy myself, you know, with certain people, because I don't fuck with everybody. But excuse me, but like. It's just, like, I just would rather just stay home, you know, be on the PS4 and bullshit, you know, have it like that. But, like, it's just, it's come to the point where I don't think it's dead. I think it's that, like I said, it got beat the fuck up real bad, and it's in intensive care.
Yeah, especially this Kevin Hart thing. It got
so
really bad.
And it needs to be, somebody needs something. You got to get the good doctor to fix it. And I don't know who it actually is.
I don't know either. I'm glad that I don't have any tweets or anything like that.
I got a Twitter, but like I don't really like look at it, and it's connected to my Facebook. So whatever is on there is going to be on that. So
yeah, I haven't really said anything controversial on there.
I mean, you get a lot of bots. I've gotten bots talk a lot of it's not real people, but they talk crap and all that stuff. And you look at it like, ha ha ha, all right, that's cute, whatever. But you know, the only one that has real time, and he should actually be doing something, is the president tweeting 24/7 about bullshit when you have a job to do. So whatever. But I'm waiting for Mueller. I've been waiting for Mueller. And he's close, real close. And Michael Cohen, he was sentenced, Monday?
3 years.
I mean, it could have been longer, but he took that deal. I mean, you have a guy, like I said many times on the show, that has no loyalty but anybody but himself. So why would I be loyal to you? That's pretty much talking about Trump, So, yeah, whatever. So, moving along, we have this issue with I don't know. Like I said, it's not ever been in the mainstream news because it's not important to them. But there's a girl in jail in Tennessee, 16-year-old girl, Cyntoia Brown, who was a victim of sex trafficking.
Yeah,
and she's in jail for basically defending herself and her life, because she had no other option to get out of that. No one was helping her. No one was trying to get her out of that situation. So for people that don't know the story, like I said, she's in jail, and they just told her that she has to serve 51 years to get parole. And for looking at other cases that in that same area, where white males have gotten lesser time or no time, and you have this little girl who basically was a prostitute and against her will, and she had to off this guy to get out of it, and now she's in jail for it, and she's not going to get out till she's in her 60s. I think that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, if it's sad, and it's straight white supremacy, man. It's racism. No doubt in my mind.
Definitely. And
no doubt in my mind.
And I do know that there is a campaign online, and I've big shout out to Nicole Spain, who had showed me basically there was information that was going around on Instagram, and they have this contact information for the governor of Tennessee, who is outgoing, but he has the legal right to grant her clemency. And there's a big petition going on online, and I vouch for everyone listening and watching to basically get that information. I can probably if we go on break, I can get the information just in case, but you would go to the state of Tennessee. I guess you could Google that, and the governor, you go to that website, and he has information. You can email him or call him, and I did that earlier. So I think this girl needs to be out of jail and home, and get something with her life, or make a home for herself. I don't know if she has any family or anything out there, but it's a real shitty situation, and I just think about 51 years. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, people who've killed people, just not out of self-defense, have gotten less time. So it's ridiculous. So actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna look on that information, and we'll get right back to it. This is the Aaron Smith podcast on the FLO Float Empire Network.
No problem.
We'll be right back.
Take care.
For the money, the dollar bills, ain't for the honeys giving up to cop a thrill. This is how I see it, this is how I feel. If you wanna bang with me, music's number one. Ain't for the money, the dollar bills, ain't for the honeys giving up to cop a thrill. This This is how I see it. This is how I feel. If you wanna bang with me, music's number one. What you know about seeing the sunrise day in and day out, fly without a doubt. Yeah, the world is yours to conquer, horizons. So I take her on in a melody. Flow with me. I raise the sound in the name of a third degree. Burn with me. I love the life I lead, no obligations to enrich. Presence magnetic, strong enough to make them catch a twitch. Follow the leader, come receiver, nice to meet you, mellow. Stay curving, flirting, leave them thirsting like when you're in yellow. No matter how fast you go, I thought that you should know. A job done thorough, keep the mole rats nice and burrowed. Retreating from the light, can't handle hustles fight, can't handle failures bite. It's my time, that's right, I'm shining. Ain't for the money, the dollar bills. Ain't for the honeys giving up the copper thrill. This is how I see it, this is how I feel. If you wanna bang with me, music's number one. Ain't for the money, the dollar bills. Ain't for the honeys giving up the copper thrill. This is how I see it, this is how I feel. If you wanna bang with me, music's number one. She saw a day where there was light, a force bound by love commanding all their might. Gold in the air and the sun, we are one, we are one. Yeah, they told her ain't no way that our dreams live a day, so she gave in to doubt, dreams the rest, falling brave. I pick her up, I tell her take it from me. Now baby girl, no let up, come conceive to put none above your love. I pick her up, I tell her go shine, say where you'll be at, where you'll be at. Cover be stat, never wanna be flat. So I take her on in a melody. Flow with me. I raise the sound in the name of a third degree. Burn with me. Now, 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 now. Hey. Ain't for the money, the dollar bills. Ain't for the honeys giving up the copper thrill. Ain't for the money, the dollar bills. Ain't for the honeys giving up the copper thrill. This is how I see it, this is how I feel. If you wanna bang with me, music's number one. Ain't for the money, the dollar bills. Ain't for the honeys giving up the copper thrill. This is how I see it, this is how I feel. If you wanna bang with me, music's number one.
So I got the information, and so there, it's the governor of Tennessee. His name is Governor Bill Haslam, and if you will want to write a letter, you can write the letter to him. It'll be first floor, State Capitol, Nashville, Tennessee, 37243. The telephone number is 615-741-2001. That's 615-741-2001. And if you want to do an email, it's tennessee.gov/governor/contact us. So like I said, all that information is on Google, and you can check out that over the internet. I'm pretty sure if you Google her name, everything will pop up as well, because there's a huge following online, a huge petition online to get her out, and so basically get the governor's attention for the clemency, because he has that right, and there's a senator out there basically going for it as well. So hopefully that'll happen, and it'll be good for the new year, to start the new year off like that. Maybe she could get out before the new year. What do you think?
Yeah, hopefully she should be, but I was just thinking about on the train, and I was just going on the internet and doing the research just in general about, like, And I hate to talk about Kanye, but they really attacked him when he was talking about the 13th Amendment. And even though he was wearing a MAGA hat, he said something about the 13th Amendment that was correct. On the 13th Amendment, it says that everybody is to, slavery is abolished with the exception of people who has been convicted of a crime. So basically, the jail system is replaced the slave system, right? It's basically the new slavery. We all know that. Now, they have this term, pay your debt to society, right? But who are we paying to? What society? We're not paying the debt to society. We're paying the debt to the Federal Reserve, man. That's what it really is. We're paying the debt to these guys, okay? These guys that's making all the money off of the jail system. That's where all the money in the jails is going, to the Federal Reserve.
Well, with Kanye, I mean, and he can be intelligent when he wants to be, but he's not very well, and
No.
it's unfortunate. And my problem with him is that he refuses to get better. And how can you, believe in a person or have faith in a person if they choose not to be well? I mean, and personally, he's. I was a fan for a while when he first started, and then once he made that turn, and it pretty much threw me off, and it turned me off to like not just his music, just him as a person. And I just think that he did have some points, and it does make certain sense to what he's saying. And like I tell everybody, you don't have to believe everyone what they're saying, but at least respect their opinion. If you have an issue with somebody and you should debate them friendly, that's fine. But also do your research as well, because not everything you see it in black and white, not everything that comes out of people's mouth is the truth. So I said, do your own research. That's what I try to do. I practice what I preach. So, but with him and his 13th Amendment, there are a lot of people of color who believe that slavery has never been abolished. And like you said, it has transitioned into the prison system, not just with African Americans, people of color, but just across the board with everyone. But the majority of the population is people of color.
Yeah.
So that's what they're calling, but they I think the term is invisible slavery.
Yeah.
Invisible chains, something like that.
And the funny thing is that like the whole purpose is systematic racism, because after the 13th Amendment, they basically turned us into every American into a debt slave. That's the term. Because when you say you're paying your debt to society, you're basically a debt slave. And the whole purpose is systematic racism. The white guys, the ones who's in power, they know that the Federal Reserve controls everybody. So they want to make sure, and they created this propaganda, and they have all these imagery to make sure that the black man and the black woman is bad, so they can criminalize all of us and place all of us in jail, so they can basically feed the system.
Yes and no. The problem I have with that is that, yes, this when you're born, especially a person of color, you have 3 strikes against you already, especially if you're a male, a black male. But the thing is that you can't make that your life, and you can't make that, hold you down. And that's a lot of issue I have with a lot of people that I know personally, that, the government this, the government that. Yes, the government is full of shit, definitely. But you got to do something within you to make sure that you're going to be all right, and make sure that you get your shit together. And, we've all done a lot of stupid things. We all had a lot of fuck up things with jail and all that other stuff. But my problem is with people who make prison, it's like a revolving door, and they're always in and out because they have nothing better to do. And that's, I think, that's a lack of education, lack of research for them, because the resources are very limited for us anyway. So whatever you could take, what we can get. But my saying is, you got to take whatever you have in between whatever things that are out there. You have to go out there and get it, because nobody gonna do it for you. And you can obey the law and do all the other stuff, and yes, they will probably try to find you and try to put you in jail, but you don't make it easy for them. And a lot of people that are in and out of jail, like I said, the parole system is broken, the prison system is broken. We understand that, but my issue is that where do we go from there? How do we put the put the cracks back together and stuff like that, because people are slipping through them.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, we get our stuff together and we actually fix the things that's coming on in the community. I think that this system that's corrupt is basically going to choose somebody else to pick on. That's what I think. Also,
like I said, it's picking on somebody will always be in season. It ain't never going away. It don't matter if it's politics, sports, whatever have you. There's always going to be some shit. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like you for no reason, what have you. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you're Kevin Hart or Jeffrey Frazier, it don't matter. Somebody's gonna find a reason not to like you and try to make it into a big thing.
Yeah.
We got a phone call. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes. What's up, man?
One second.
Okay, you gotta talk a little louder because I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can
Yes,
hear you.
Verizon. Luis, what's going on, bro?
Nothing. Chilling. Drinking a bud. No, I'm just kidding. I was watching that commercial.
Oh, it's all good.
Remember that old What's Up commercial?
Oh, yeah, that was the shit back in the 90s, the three frogs and shit. It was awesome.
Budweiser.
What happened to them things? They probably have frog legs by now or some shit.
Yeah.
Somebody slow boiled their ass.
Right. But how's things going on? I haven't seen you since my birthday show back in the summer, so I know you're, to the people that listen, the first calling in, Luis first calling in, he's a comedian. He's done a couple of shows with me with the Funny Underground Comedy Crew, Broadway Comedy Club. He also travels from state to state and does comedy. You should talk about yourself a lot better than me because you are you, so why don't you say that?
Well, yeah, man. My name's Luis Vasquez. I'm a traveling comic. We'll talk comedy for food. You know what I mean? I'm at that stage. I'm not trying to headline as many places as I can, even though I'm not even there yet. But I have delusions of grandeur, just like every other comedian that's out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I mean, you have so much, like when you and Jeffrey, you guys got so much talent, and it's unfortunate that how this business is and how you gotta deal with certain attitudes and agendas, what have you, and but you're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm going on 4 years in comedy. Just trying to build a name for myself that isn't synonymous with being a douche. Enjoying meeting new comedians, seeing comedy in different venues, seeing different crowds. I was talking to some kid who's been doing comedy a couple years, and he's really good. And I'm just like, I don't like trucking in advice. And it's like, you're good. Just be in front of as many different crowds as you can, so that you know what really works, as opposed to being the best local comedy.
Right.
That
you
ever
have
gets
to have
produced, you know what I mean?
a calendar or what's the other word for it? Variety. You
Yeah,
know,
have variety.
you know, you have to spread it around a bit. You know, because you know some jokes will work for one crowd, but it won't work for the other. So
Absolutely.
I try to
And if
do
you
that too.
once
But
you get once you get an act that works everywhere, then you know you want something.
true. So like, you know, I've seen you a couple dozen times already, but I want you to tell the good folks, you know, what's your style, how you come across, how do you like to make people laugh?
Oh man, right now I'm in this dark phase in my brain. I just say
I
I
think we've
think
all been there.
yeah, I think I'm just trying to be uh, myself in that I don't talk. I'm not a clean guy. I'm not a Jim Gaffigan or a Brian Regan type of comic. I'm somebody that's going to say some shit because I want to get a reaction. Problem is that there's a lot. The problem that I've been seeing is that there's this prevalence of that political correctness that is just it's hamstringing comedians from expressing themselves.
Yeah, we were
And
talking about that earlier.
Yeah, was talking about what happened to Kevin.
oh yeah, man, let me tell you that really freaking bothered me because it was like the guy works his ass off.
Hmm.
He produces so much for the comedy world, you know, that's for the scene, and to be taken down because of something that he said, you know, what was it, like 10 years ago, something like
Yeah,
that. You know, it's as if you have to scrub your life. You have to go over everything you've ever said or done if you're going to take a major step. And I believe that's especially true for minority comics.
Yep.
You know, it's especially true for those of us of color, whether you're black or brown. You know, there's an expectation that you have to achieve this level of perfection that white comics just don't have to have. You know, they just don't.
that's the that.
And
Yeah, you're
yeah,
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Sorry, I cut you off. But
no,
it's bullshit. And like you take it back to Louis C.K. and the all the crap that he did, and he's back, and they don't want they're pretty much trying to scrub whatever that shit that he did, you know,
dude, he
and
doesn't even talk about it.
yeah,
He hasn't even addressed it since he made that little fake apology that he did. And he's just back on stage. He just took a vacation. He took a little comedy sabbatical.
like I said, it has to be like that across the board or nothing at all. I mean, or everybody has to. Like I said, if one person has to eat that sandwich, you might as well split that in half and eat both of them, chew on it. If you fuck up, you know. So I'm like, whatever, man. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of Kevin Hart, but he, you know, I do respect his work ethic, and you know,
I
he's one.
respect the man's hustle. I mean, the
So
man is hustle.
oh yeah, definitely. But
Yeah.
you know, like I said, when you're in this business, and you know, he's in a position where he's like basically, he's the top guy, or not either the top guy, and
Yeah.
you know, people are gonna come at you, you know,
And that's
and
inevitable.
you gotta protect yourself at all costs, and like you know. I personally have to do it myself as well because you know I say a lot of crazy shit. I talk a lot of crazy shit on the internet, and you've
Yeah.
seen it. But like you know, there's gonna come a time where you know, I'm not a genie or anything. I don't have a crystal ball, but you never know. And then I have to come back to them like, oh my god, let's see what happened was, you know. But I wouldn't do that, you know. I'm basically like, yeah, I said it, and what, you know.
You
But
got to do a preemptive strike apology and shit.
right, you know. Yeah, my apology would basically be I should have said more, and
No.
if you don't like it, you know the block button is right in the right hand corner.
Yeah, all you got to do is just fucking go to somebody else's channel or
Mute
just
me.
don't watch what I say or don't listen.
Yeah, but
it's just it's comedy. It's not, you know, comedy is intended to provoke. It's intended to get people to invoke a laughter. You're standing in a room. People don't realize that shit. You're
yeah,
standing in a room trying to get 10, 15, 20, 1,000, a million fucking strangers to laugh at something you thought of, and do it so that it seems spontaneous, even though we've been practicing that shit for weeks, for months, for years.
It's people don't seem to understand that, and that's why I don't think everyone can do it. But they try, and they fail miserably, and that's the underlying issue. I mean, there really is no one to basically say, you can't do this shit. Like, don't bother, But I mean, I get open mics, and it's cool, and it's all for somebody that's the first starting out. And I mean, like, after a couple times, if you ain't getting no chuckles, man, maybe you should try another career.
Reevaluate that either the bit and try something new, but reevaluate whether or not you're funny,
right,
or you're funny around your friends,
right. Because I have people who write good, and they got some funny stuff, but when it comes across to the table and you bring in somebody in front of and on stage and bringing it across to people. This delivery is like, you're in a comedy club, not a funeral home, right? Buddy? So,
dude, I did that yesterday. One of my friends in comedy, he started a mic. Had a pretty decent crowd that came in. Everybody was energetic. It was the first time. A lot of college kids. And I opened up with a joke that I thought was pretty funny, and I got a good reaction. And I followed it up with something that I thought was funny, and I could see that there were pockets of laughter. That college crowd, I shut them down, and it just made me laugh even harder because I'm looking at these kids like, I don't know shit. You know nothing.
Pretty much.
You think you know. You're in high school plus.
Right.
That's what college is. It's high school plus. It's high school without the belt. That's it. You're not woke. You're not. You're not awake. You're not an adult. You're
not at all.
You're just a delayed adolescent.
Like I said, we're in the era of the keyboard warriors, and you got a lot of these people running their mouth online, and like I said, if individual were to step up to them and be into their face, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
And that's my problem I have with this generation. It's like everything's online. Even if somebody's in trouble, you rather put it on World Star and put it on your video and stream it to YouTube and stuff like that, help them. And like, it's funny sometimes, but not, after a while, like, you like look at it like, you feel disgusting by watching it. So like, sometimes I think I take it back. I'm like, I can't take this crap anymore.
Right.
And like, I'm sick in the head, not like some like weird shit, but like after a while it gets to the point it's like, I need to take a shower because I feel slimy from watching this.
Yeah. And the thing about what's up, Lewis? Is Jeff? Yeah. So, the thing about these keyboard warriors is a lot of these keyboard warriors, whether it be these fake liberal progressives or these alt-right cucks, is that they do not have the bravery to stand up to their boss, and this is why a bully, a New York City corporate American bully like President Trump, can swoop in. He bullied all of the politicians. He's bullying the people that's around him. He's just this bully, and everybody's busy being a damn keyboard warrior, and nobody knows how to deal with him.
Well, Trump is the ultimate keyboard warrior.
Yeah, man.
But
every one of those
I remember it was a while back when he was going back and forth with Joe Biden. I thought that's the worst. That's the wrong white boy to mess with. Joe Biden will like,
Joe
clean
Biden's
your
kind of
clock.
grimy. But,
clean your clock.
He suffered shit that the fucking Trump has never suffered.
Right.
He will he will go on the gutter with that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I mean he was in the service too. I ain't messing
Joe
with him.
Biden. That'd be funny if Joe Biden goes after President Trump and Trump tries him, and then Biden shut him. Oh, Biden is going to shut him down. Trump.
Yeah.
Biden just look at him like, what?
He's gonna whip that ass. That's what he's going to do.
I think the problem now is that there's so many old white people running for office now.
Yeah, I'm like,
Can we get
what is he
somebody
like?
under ancient? I mean,
Yeah.
These motherfuckers, they remember horses and buggies in the streets. I mean,
Yeah, like, especially when they got their ladies walking around with them, and especially they're all old and crippled looking. Like, I used to do this number for the troops back in the day. I said Union or Confederate. Like, get away from me. Like, I'm like, don't you got an oxygen tank to fill or something? Like,
a Confederate. That's funny.
Like, get out of here with that. But yeah, there's too many old people in general that are in office. They're like, need some young bloods, in there. That have...
Hey, you know what? That's why they're all fucking threatened by that Alexandria Ocasio.
Oh yeah, she's hot.
Because she's young and she's fire. She looks at them like, you, Grandma, I don't got to respect your ass.
She hood. Like I said, you didn't mess with when you mix hood with smarts. You a bad motherfucker. Like, and that's what you need, people out there like young like her that's out there. And trying to break some eggs and make some couple omelets, if you will. So and then you got Pelosi.
That's what they were getting with Trump.
You got Pelosi and you got Schumer, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, Trump, yeah. But he's pushing what, 74, 75, and I'm like, he wouldn't last another term. I don't think.
Every still photo, you can see the Grim Reaper just creeping in closer.
Pretty much, it's I guess it will be the Reaper on the left and Mueller on the right. Because he's closing up on.
Muller's this side of Methuselah.
Yeah, he's 1,000. Yeah, he has that permanent shit face too. But the stuff that he's in and the things that he's doing, I'll be looking like that every day too. Like, leave me the fuck alone. So till I get this over with. But whatever, man.
Yeah, we have to be careful because this wall thing that Trump is trying to push, this vanity
Ain't
project.
No wall.
Here's the thing: this dude's talking about threatening to shut down the government. Man, you better stop.
Like, whatever. He's a big baby, and when he doesn't get what he wants, he starts lashing out. Like when he lashed out on TV when they had the interview. Did you see that, Lewis? Where it was Pelosi and Schumer, and they had the interview, and he was like whining. I'm like, somebody needs to give him his bobo and burp him so he can take a nap. Like, cause.
I'll tell you something. You know what pissed me off about that exchange? The fucking milquetoast response that he got from those two. That's the time when you look the man in the eye and say, "You're a liar, you're wrong, and we're gonna fight you on this." You know how much that would energize so many more people that are on the fence.
He sat
there, he sat forward, he wasn't relaxed, he was looking at the ground, he was looking at the sky, he was contemplating the meaning of life, and he barely looked at the man.
Who was that? Schumer?
Meanwhile, Trump was just staring him down.
Oh, yeah.
When a person does that to you, you need to look them in the eye. You can't be afraid. You can't look away. He was talking to the cameras. I get it. You're playing the game.
Of course,
when
because
a man comes at you like that, and you know he's trying to test you, you need to look him in the face and say, "What? I got this. What do you think you're talking about?" I looked at him like, "What are you even talking about?" Because the one thing that he hates doing, Trump cannot explain himself.
He really doesn't. I think
he goes off of sound bites and
and
he picks a phrase and then he hammers it home and the people that follow him, it's easy. There's easy chunks for people to remember. Lock her up, all this other shit. We don't have that. We had Obama, right?
Right.
Obama was the orator.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that you sat there and you're like, God damn, I really can do whatever I want in this life.
Right.
Even though you know for a fact you can't because you're dark. You are the exception. You made it to the pinnacle of the political tower. You did. But there's not going to be somebody that comes behind you, at least not for another generation, because the system will not truck that bullshit.
No, they definitely won't. And he kind of reminds me of like the Wizard of Oz, or the guy in the back making all the noise, and
Nigga off sound effects.
smoke and mirrors and all, and then you see this little twerk behind the machine. That's Trump, But it's been working, and it's fortunate. But my problem with him is that you need somebody to tell him, like, shut the fuck up. You don't talk. You don't do that. We're not gonna do that. You could do this behind closed doors.
Good money. I pay for ringside seats to see that shit.
I joked around with the whole thing of, I should vote for, not vote, but put my name in for chief of staff, because like I'll pay. You could pay Trump. You could pay me. Like I said, I'll be like this, dude. I'll be like, I'll say whatever you want, how you want to say it, but I'm gonna check you when you need to be checked.
Oh well, that's where the interview ends.
Of course,
come on, man.
But no, I'll put it in such a nice way, like I'll be like, I read Art of the Deal, very fascinating, because he like suck ups, like people to kiss his ass and shit. So
and he'll look at you and be like, you know what? I like the blacks.
I like the guy. I like the blacks. I have many black friends.
I have many black Kanyes. I mean friends.
Yeah, that's
Kanye's
God.
not a friend.
Kanye.
But his dosage was equaled out, and he was like, "What did I say? Did I say this makes me feel like Superman? Oh my God! I want to be Superman. I want to be Superman."
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember, it was like a couple months ago where Henry Cavill went out as Superman, and then there was a rumor that they would think about putting Michael B. Jordan in that role, and and like Twitter had a shitstorm. I'm like, if you read fucking comic books, there was a black Superman.
Yeah, there is. He's in another universe.
Prime, right?
Earth 2.
No, you're not bringing up Shaquille O'Neal, because that movie was garbage.
No. It's Superman Prime, and in another Earth.
Okay.
You can Google this.
No, Superman. Actually, it's not Superman Prime, but there's this comic book called Crisis.
No, not Shaq. That horrible movie.
No,
I'm saying when Superman died and they had the reign of the Superman.
No. You're going way. That's before this. That's way before this. That's way before this. I have that set. I think I still.
Yeah. Now it was the Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? So there was different Superman and different Batman in every universe. And in Earth 2, Superman is black, and he's the president of the United States. So
that's the alternate universe.
For sure.
Of course.
Sure, I thought it was the alternate universe when we got Obama, but
somehow they will find and mine Alabama kryptonite. They will never let that happen again. You kidding me?
They gonna put it in some fried chicken or something. Collard greens.
Right, you know what we need to do? We need to get us some watermelon, some kryptonite watermelon.
Nah, you know what you do? You get some real ignorant stuff. You go, you make some weed, call it kryptonite. There you go.
Yeah.
Because Superman smoked the crowd.
They'd be all over it.
Imagine some Kryptonian crowd and he'll murder half the population.
Man, shit. Man, listen. You already know how I. You already know how I do. You know how I do. But that means shit. I mean, they got all these strands and all this other crap. So, I mean, personally, I smoked it all. But it's like it's pretty much the same to me. It's only indica and sativa anyway. I mean, one makes you sleepy, one keeps you up. That's about it. It don't matter what name it is.
Probably put you to fucking death.
It could be called Red Wolf Pussy. It'll still be weed. But we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. Luis, you got any shows coming up? Anywhere that good people can come check you out?
I'm in Massachusetts, man. So if you're in Massachusetts, just look me up. Blue Comedy 101 at Facebook, Instagram. I try to Twitter, but I think I'm on that. I'm too old for Twitter cusp.
Right.
I don't know.
I have
don't-
one. I was telling Jeff earlier. I don't.
Just
I don't.
use
I
it
don't
for
use it.
networking. Just network. Don't tweet.
Yeah.
Don't tweet no jokes or anything controversial on that thing. Twitter
Right,
is petty,
exactly.
man. That's petty.
They'll
just
find
post
that you
anything
slapped that
online.
girl in the behind the swings at 3 p.m. and like 18 years ago and shit when you were like 7th grade or some shit.
Let me
That
tell
doesn't
you
even
something.
make any sense, but whatever. But
I'm in my 40s. If camera phones were around it when I was in my teens and 20s, I would be talking to you from the Austin Correctional Facility. I'll tell you that.
wow, nobody want to go to Austin, then, bro. That joint is. Whew. Shit, I'd rather go to Rikers than Austin. Let's put it like that.
I know, man. I heard Rikers is the tombs. That's just the tomb of never-ending death.
Yeah, pretty
Pain.
much. Yeah, but I gotta go. Like I said, I'm gonna be a traveling comic myself. I need to check y'all out. But I definitely will do that. But thanks for calling, bro. Appreciate that.
All right.
I appreciate you having me.
All right,
You
welcome
guys
back anytime.
have a good one.
All right, take care, Luis Vasquez, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Next week will be our season finale, and we will be coming back next year. If you don't check us out, or if I don't see you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy
New
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. Happy Chinese food. A lot of Jews do that during Christmas, whatever have you. But just enjoy yourself and have a good time. I will definitely see you guys next week, though. This is Aaron Smith Can't Lose on the Flow Empire Network. Thank you and good night.
Take care.